but holy
I,
fuck.
as someone who took part in the recent playtest, I've enjoyed it so far. But again, I've played World of Warcraft since it came out back in 2000 fucking I think 4.
Yeah, dude, it's been a grip. 20 years.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Ashes is gonna dog walk PAX Day.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
um, yeah.
I feel like marketing was their biggest fucking issue, dude, because they're not trying. I feel like everyone's expecting it to be a certain way, and it's just not that way. I feel like there is a fuck ton of survival people in that game going, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's not a survival MMO, guys.
They need a post. They need a post in like announcement, like, "Hey, this is our vision for the game." Clear, simple statement, just to tell everyone, "Hey, here's what we're trying to do. Here's what to expect."
Yeah.
Because right
Yeah,
now,
because just saying a social sandbox MMO, dude, with a player-driven market is like, that could entail so many different things.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, dude. People who fucking pop in and see us play it, what they almost always say is, "Wow, dude, what's this like Valheim?"
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Unreal
There's so many
Engine
Valheim people.
cannot handle an MMO.
Right.
The frame rate would die in an instant.
Yeah, dude, I would like to see what a big ass, like, if there's, I would like to know how many people were in their big PvP playtests, dude.
I know Thor brought like a couple thousand people with him in his clan.
Like, I would love to see what like a big 1,000-person battle would be like.
I know in Ashes of Creation, I think the servers are sharded, so you only see a maximum of like a few hundred players at a time.
Right.
To ensure stability.
At least they have something to play, dude. It's true. It's true. I watched someone play the game and watched a wolf parkour up a cliff and two-shot a guy, dude. God damn it.
I gotta hand it to the Ashes of Creation devs, though. Of every game that I've seen that uses a hotbar combat system, it does look just about the best out of any of them that I've seen, though. Like,
right.
It certainly, like, the movement at least is pretty freaking dynamic. And I feel like the combat styles are pretty varied. Also, I think, does that also run off of Unreal? It looks good. That fucking dragon boss that they had in that
I think it's their own engine. I'm not entirely sure.
I'll just look it up. Book of Creation.
If it is Unreal,
engine.
then they're using their own netcode.
Oh, it is UE5.
Then they're using their own netcode to handle because
Oh, I remember you sent me that video, Nev. It did look good.
Spider
hello. PAX Day feels like their vision for the end game just looks like a pile of money. Yeah, dude. Pile of money and cut and run, dude. Jesus Christ.
I fucking hope not.
Weirdly enough,
Dick, hello.
I'm gonna say if you want the same vibe as PAX Day, but a smaller, tighter knit group of players that will actually collaborate, like, and properly let you build massive fucking structures, get a private server for Reign of Kings.
But the whole point of PAX Day was it was supposed to be the perfect blend of Billy's favorite game, fucking Eve, but set in a universe that I can actually digest because I couldn't stand fucking Eve because one, the combat, dude, of like spaceships, you just fucking click, and then it was just boring as fuck. It was awful.
You know what's weird is that I fucking feel you on that. I have tried. Like, I really thought that I was going to like Stellaris more. I enjoyed it a bit, but it wound up being a little bit too long-winded. And then the other one, I love Planetary Annihilation.
When Eve's tutorial lasted more than 20 minutes, I gave up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There was another RTS that I had tried that is arguably the most accurate space combat from, like, a timing and physics perspective that I've ever seen in like an RTS. I think it's called Homeworld.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, dude, those are fucking... That's just an intimidating game all around. It's like, shit takes so long to happen. You got to think extremely far. Like, you know, you're a fucking space commander. I am not cut out to be a space commander, dude. I'm not some kind of fucking Moon Eisenhower. Some Mars MacArthur.
I don't know, dude. You know what would absolutely save the game, and I would never talk shit about it again?
If they gave you money.
If they would just change their combat to be more like directional, like a chivalry combat, dude.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
Like something simple, dude. I don't know if you watched me play Bell right, but that is the most simple directional combat that still felt really fucking good. And that right there, I would completely change everything, dude. I would actually be playing it right fucking now, even though it sucks. I shall BRB real quick. Word bird. I want PAX Day to work. I was supposed to lead a verdammt cult. Fuck. Took my cult from me. I've never been sadder. Listen, you just got to give them 6 more years, dude. Trust me. They'll eventually enter beta.
Actually, there are some Conan Exiles. They call them MMO light servers. They're advertising on Reddit. 500 slots that filled typically 300-400 on average.
Yeah, Billy's not really one for Conan Exiles. He misses all like the corpo shit.
Which that's another thing too, is like, I don't know if corpo shit's gonna work.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's.
There's not gonna be enough players to run
yeah.
any sort of fucking big guilds,
it's not
dude.
It's not even just that. I think that if the players that are playing are role playing,
right?
I don't know how much. Like, this is why.
Like now,
personally, the FUBAR thing doesn't quite.
If PAX Day wanted to add, the marketplace player trade and stuff like that, now is the time to add it when you're trying to fix the XP curves and all that.
Oh yeah.
That way you can essentially.
It would lessen a lot of the load,
economy
dude.
Alongside your crafting professions.
Yeah.
The way you're supposed to. They're doing stuff ass backwards.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was a very, very basic fucking bullet point list that they needed to have for this early access launch, and I don't think they had a single one.
Well, and I think another thing too is like, they want, like, how do you test these systems if you can't retain the player base who in and of themselves...
They can't retain the player base because they fucked up the XP curves.
Well, that's the thing. They fucked up the XP curves, but I think the other thing, like, I think that there's a long list of things that they fucked up.
Oh yeah, the players were gone long before the XP curves. People came back because it was the big update.
Like, I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like the Steam thing was just unbelievably short-sighted.
Oh
if
yeah.
people knew what they were paying for as it pertained to an alpha, and it came off of their own launcher, I think there would have been a lot less complaints about what they were paying for.
Right.
They definitely didn't do a lot to make it seem like they were just going to take essentially the exact same thing that we played in alpha and just call it early access or call it their beta. And dude, your first impression matters. Halo Infinite never recovered.
Yeah.
Even, it's like Halo Infinite should have been averaging 5 digits, but they just fumbled the bag so fucking hard by clearly not being ready when the game launched. They weren't ready. They didn't have enough content. They didn't have PAX Days in the same boat. This is the industry right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
This is why I'm so scared about the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
It's because like I trust.
Have you seen the shit that they've come out and said already?
Barely. Oh, to lower your expectations?
Yeah, like there's no way we can appease, and it's like, dude, it's so fucking easy. Well, you got people who are complaining that you dumbed it down too much from Oblivion and Morrowind, and then you got the people who love Skyrim. Just take Skyrim and add back a little more of the RPG shit from the other two, and just make it look nice. Like, and just make the combat feel a little better, dude. Like, it's not fucking hard.
Player expectations are one of the big reasons why we haven't had a Half-Life 3. That's one of the big things. It's been hyped so much that where Valve is like, you know what? We don't want to take the risk.
And that's totally fair.
Like, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Not releasing the next game than it would if we release the next game and fuck up.
Yeah.
What Bethesda's going to be risking with this is potentially releasing a game that is not as good as modded Skyrim. And that is a I don't think they've ever been in I don't think that Modded Oblivion in 2011 was better than Skyrim in any way.
Right.
I don't think you could. I don't think that
look what's happened to Starfield. There's a Star Wars mod to Starfield that outshines it entirely.
Oh yeah, dude. I did read up on that mod.
People have bought the game because of that mod.
Yeah.
It's it's just and you know what? I part of me gets where they're coming from, because I do think that Skyrim was such a leap from Oblivion in certain ways. But at the same exact time, it's like you're telling us to lower our expectations when you've taken this long.
Yeah.
And on top of that, all you have to do to know how to make the game better is look at what generally is done by the modding community.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's the shit that people want to change.
Like, and the thing is, they tried that with Starfield. They're like, oh, people were putting in ground vehicles, so let's add our own official ground vehicle. But they didn't also realize that other stuff was broken, like the empty environments.
Yeah, dude. I hope they do not do any fucking generation on Elder Scrolls, dude.
Wait, what?
Like, there's only one storyline I finished.
Any
In
generation?
Starfield?
Like the AI, like the
procedural.
fucking procedural shit, like they did with Starfield.
Yeah, I agree. It
There's
wouldn't
only
make
one
sense.
storyline I finished with Starfield, and that was on the planet Neon. That corporation.
Oh
chain.
fuck.
That's the only thing I finished.
I think that
I dropped
they
the game
could get
after
away
that.
with a procedurally generated DLC, like a something like, honestly, if they wanted to release another DLC
damn,
with
what was the-
Shiagarath as the main villain, I wouldn't complain, and that would
you know
make
what?
sense as
You
far
know
as
what
procedural generation is concerned.
Procedural generation quests would work. Tavern bulletin boards. Treat it like a tabletop RPG.
Oh, and there's
You know where you find
fucking
random fucking quests? In taverns.
there's mods for that in Skyrim too, that
Yeah.
create bulletin boards in the town, and it's great because it's especially on something like Lore Rim, you can't just do the main quest right out of the gate when you have that mod. You'll just you'll get your dick chopped off and fed to you.
Yeah, dude. That pack. I deleted that pack, dude. That pack fucked. Fuck no, dude. Ugh.
But yeah, I just feel like with Bethesda and the reputation that they've sort of fallen into as of late, them saying that is not a good sign. They have a lot of competition this next generation.
Bethesda's gone too far in experimenting with shit.
Well, I agree. I think they should be focusing more on making the fundamentals of their games better, like the combat.
Their engine's way too
old. And they're making the next one on it, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Doesn't make sense. If the tech isn't there, the tech isn't there. Move on to a different engine.
Creation Engine 2, I guess.
Yeah, create a new generation of that engine.
Of the Creation Engine, yeah.
You either move on to a commercially available engine, or make a new version of your own.
And
Don't use the same
Starfield
one.
used Creation Engine 2, so that's an indicator.
Yeah, dude,
they're
gonna fuck around and fucking actually.
No,
hold
okay,
on.
I could see some
Let me
tech
look this up.
that would be really cool in the next Elder Scrolls game. Like the flight control mechanic of Starfield, really great for flying mounts.
I also
Use
saw
that tech
some
creatively.
speculation about shipbuilding, like boats, taking the Starfield shipbuilding and applying it to naval.
They have
stuff.
ideas that they can apply elsewhere.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna fuck around and have a goddamn release close to Witcher 4, and then that's not gonna be good.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The competition for RPGs between the fact that you have Baldur's Gate 3, which I think for a decent chunk of time,
extremely high.
Oh yeah, but I think that the other thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is it's so replayable that no matter when the next Elder Scrolls game comes out, they're going to be competing with Baldur's Gate 3. Not even the next game that's on their docket, but like
even today, games that aren't even in the RPG
compete with it. It's a huge market share. And then, yeah, no, I think their biggest competition has to be the next Witcher game. Because the third one
Yeah.
is the one that, I mean, it's better than vanilla Skyrim.
When game journalists were whining that Baldur's Gate was setting unrealistic expectations, I knew the AAA scene was in trouble.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
When they started whining like players shouldn't expect every game to be like Baldur's Gate 3, I'm like, no, we should. That's what happens when someone comes in and
supposedly
makes waves.
CD Projekt Red has said that Witcher 4 is further along in development than any of the other projects they got. And there was a placeholder on GOG for a very short amount of time that said December 2025.
I'm interested because they said that there's a multiplayer Cyberpunk project in the works.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2 is in the works.
Going to be keeping my eyes peeled at the Game Awards this year.
That's Cyberpunk related for multiplayer. It would be cool if they added like a separate multiplayer client to the next Cyberpunk game.
Oh yeah,
you just have your own crew.
Dude, me and Aaron's thing forever has been like the single player games like that, dude. If they added some sort of co-op,
just chill with you up to and 3 of your friends.
Yeah,
make your own crew.
Yeah, fuck like multiplayer. I just like co-op, dude. Us and a couple people.
Procedural generation missions for rep, and there's a rep leaderboard and everything, so you and your crews can compete.
It looks
I'm gonna play my walkout music and put my junk in chokehold. Stay classy.
So the Game Awards this year
are
December 12th. December 12th they're happening. It looks like
when they came out and like with how much the audience vote actually counts and all the companies that are on the judging panel. I'm not watching the Game Awards.
Oh, it's turning into the Oscars for sure. I'm still gonna watch it, but I am a little bit perturbed or annoyed rather, that the Shadow of the Erdtree got Game of the Year nomination. That's not
dude, DLC
at all.
Eesh.
Here's the
not
thing,
appropriate,
right? The quality DLC pool is so small that had it existed this year, Erdtree would have been running unopposed.
Yeah, but I don't even like in that case. It just doesn't feel fair that Erdtree gets. Like, I think there were probably deserving titles that were full games from potentially
when you look
indie
at the
developers.
Size and scope of what Erdtree was.
Well, that's a great metric for talking about Erdtree. Not all games are designed to be at that scope. It doesn't fit the bill for all games. What I'm saying is that
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm saying in this instance, the size and scope of Erdtree, I could see why it's in that category.
Yeah, I can't. I can't just because it feels wrong to me. It feels like the one, I mean, without it, I think that it does add some competition to the thing. Because I mean, in my mind, I don't think that there's a great competitor for Black Myth outside of that. I don't think the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I have some major qualms with fucking
as though
Final Fantasy, anyways.
Massive portion of the judging pool, refused to recognize Wukong's success. I don't think it's gonna get snubbed either way.
Which is unfortunate because that's like, it's such a good game, and on top of that, this is what diversity in the gaming sphere looks like.
Yeah,
like I talked to my brother about this, the Sweet Baby Inc. thing, because they've worked on some titles that have done really well as diversity-oriented writing consultants, right? I don't like business-related diversity. I don't like marketing diversity, and that's what that is. And what when they attempted to do, well, yeah, and when they did try to do it to Black Myth, the devs were like, "We're telling a Chinese myth, the most famous Chinese myth. Journey to the West is like bar none the most famous Chinese myth in the Western world, and they want to tell their story. They are Chinese people. Why are a bunch of fucking honkies telling them how to do it best? It doesn't make any sense. If you want a more diverse range of stories and a more diverse range of cast members, you need a more diverse range of artists, which is another reason why the indie scene does this so much better than the AAA scene does. Like the degree of stereotyping that is done by AAA developers when it comes to like racial aesthetics or like urban aesthetics, as they might call them. Like
look at Assassin's Creed Shadows, right?
Yeah.
In the reveal trailer,
it switches to hip hop music for Yasuke.
yes.
Yeah.
What?
Which is fucking insane. That is
really? Wait, what? I didn't
insane.
actually. I didn't even watch the fucking trailer.
100%.
It is so fucking stupid.
It's cringe as fuck. It is like it's, oh my god.
Let me find the video for Richard.
It's just dumb. And once again, it's like if you want a more diverse gaming industry, you need more diverse artists, and Wukong are literally the definition of increased diversity in the gaming sphere. We're hearing a myth that most Americans don't even know what the myth is. They've heard of it. You know, a lot of us have heard of Journey to the West. But the contents therein, most Americans haven't been exposed to that. It's not one of those big three mythologies. Like, I mean, really, Egypt, Greek. Well, I mean, there's more than just these three, but Egypt, Greek, Norse, Japanese, I would say, is more well represented over here than Chinese. Yeah.
Timestamped and everything.
Oh golly.
It is rough.
Protector turned persecutor. Greed cannot rule this village. Not while I have breath in my lungs and
No fucking way, dude.
I said kill him.
Yeah. It's such stereotypical marketing-based diversity. And it's like, the problem is that it's not, you don't have people that are making art that are motivated to like actually say anything. They're just churning out shit for the sake of it existing. It's, I watched a video, I think it was Denzel Washington.
I don't like that exactly because it's a generalization. Because there are some people out there who want to create excellent things, but because they're, higher ups want to play it safe and
well, I'm referring to
the
studio behavior, not developer behavior. Like this is this is a marketing tactic done by studios. And it's one of those things where a lot of the time what the studios will say out loud is that, and they're right when they say this, that like the industry needs more diversity because it's, I mean, it makes things richer from a storytelling perspective to have a wide gamut of different types of stories being told. So that's great. Yeah. But I think a lot of the time the in-house reason is how can we make this game marketable to the maximum amount of people? And when that is the motivation for for diversifying your game's cast or something like that, what you wind up with is a very shallow version of that diversity. And it's sort of like Denzel Washington had a great quote in an interview that I think I caught a short of it at some point. And he was talking about how Martin Scorsese and Spielberg directed Goodfellas and what's the Spielberg directed Schindler's List, right? Now, could those two directors have directed the other person's movie? Yes. But Martin Scorsese, coming from an Italian-American background, and Spielberg being Jewish, played a role in how they portrayed that stuff. There was a different type of motivation. And this isn't to say that you can't write for things that exist outside of your culture, but their motivations were very clear with how it was being represented. And you have to be, once again, if you're trying to create a piece of art, it should be treated like one. And I don't think that AAA studios do the best job. I think the indie scene rolls them as far as the way that they treat their video games as whole pieces of art. Just in general, I think that the indie scene has done a better job. I've rambled.
Me, dude.
Well, no, it's the indie scene. It has the freedom to
exactly. Yeah, no, they don't have the restriction. They don't have the studio oversight and the which is great. It's a bummer because I feel like AAA games used to not do so much there's always a degree of keeping up with the Joneses, right? Like, particularly from a technological standpoint, consoles trying to stay up to date with each other so that your platform remains competitive. But I feel like games, the games themselves weren't as motivated when I was a kid to keep up with the Joneses the way that they are now. Like a Mario game is a Mario. Like Nintendo nails this perfectly.
Like, the
Nintendo doesn't care
fact
about maintaining
that
the.
IGN gave Mario Luigi Brothership a 5 out of 10 when clearly it's higher quality.
Oh yeah, well IGN is.
Like,
Yeah, all those big
and
names, dude.
not to mention the 40,000 some odd votes that disappeared during their Game of the Year community vote thing for
Recount.
Wukong.
Recount.
40,000.
Hell yeah, dude. We should.
40,000. That's why I'm not gonna watch.
We
the
should
awards
storm
stream
their
because IGN's on the
headquarters, dude,
panel,
on
so
January 6th.
I'm not gonna care.
I like how you stumbled into that joke.
I
You're like, should I
just
say this?
God. It's like
The,
God. I don't want to bring up anything about these topics. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
But yeah, no, I just I wish that games, because even Assassin's Creed games don't feel like Assassin's Creed games anymore. They've become, honestly, for a while there, Assassin's Creed was like the single most generic, not bad per se,
Apparently,
but the most
they're going
generic
to go the route
RPG.
of Destiny now and make the Animus hub. Or is this? It's a social fucking. Like,
Social assassin.
No, it's a social hub where you can hang out with other players and stuff, and then go and play the other Assassin's Creed games like individually.
Oh, I see.
They're going the Destiny route, where you have a hub.
So it's a hub world, and then like the Destiny planets, you would go into each of the Assassin's Creed worlds. I mean, it makes sense if you're talking about like timelines and like, you know, the Animus and the way that it navigates.
If they retroactively added cooperative play to all the other titles that are included in the hub.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too bad then. But knowing them, it's just going to be like, hey, hang out in the hub. Oh, cosmetic skins for $5.99 each.
It's called Assassin's. Oh yeah, so Animus Hub, formerly known as Assassin's Creed Infinity, is an upcoming game hub for. Let's see, how many games looks
it's
like.
going to launch with Shadows.
Damn. Well. Well.
But honestly, Ubisoft, I think, is the first AAA giant that's going to probably fall. And it all depends on Shadows'
I can see it.
reception.
Well, and they've really fucking whiffed a couple other huge projects. What was the name of the pirate one that they did?
Oh, Skull and Bones, dude.
If Ubisoft does fall and gets bought up by Tencent, that's going to have a rippling effect, and it's going to essentially reinvigorate this gaming culture across the globe to be like, hey, we have more power with our wallets than we think. And AAA devs are going to be fucking terrified.
I think this next year is particularly going to be weird. Not just for gaming. I think all around it's going to be a weird year. But I don't think that gaming will be excluded from the weirdness. I expect some industry changes as far as like. Well, I mean, Ubisoft is, like you said, not doing very well.
All of this Assassin's Creed Shadows drama could have been changed, like, or avoided with just proper wording on advertisements. Because Yasuke is not confirmed to have ever existed, they could have just kept it, hey, experience the legend.
Well, exactly. It's like historical fiction is completely fine. Like it's not a problem by any means. I think that
had they not doubled down and pissed off the entire Japanese player base, and like with their assumptions and like they're saying, oh no, he was real, blah blah. They hired 2 consultants that wrote books that even the Japanese government considers fiction.
Yeah, well, and you know what else too is that it is the exportation, and this is not a political statement by me by any means or a moral one, but it is the exportation of Western values to non-Western places. And
Yeah,
I
it's idiotic.
believe in Western values. I very much like the cultural melting pot sort of vibe that we have here. But these other places are, generally speaking, significantly more racially homogenous. That's true for Scandinavia. It's true for Japan. It's true for China. Most places in the world don't have the level of diversity that we have. So when we create a game that takes place in somebody else's neck of the woods, and then they feel like we've misrepresented it because we have injected our sort of our prerequisite diversity
had they
needs.
kept all of their marketing with like making sure that there was a definitive line of like, hey, this is a legend. This this is a storyline not entirely steeped in fact. Kept it open like that. A lot of people would have been a lot less pissed off, and we would have been willing to laugh off the whole hip hop freaking background thing because we're like, oh, you know, cool action sequence, whatever.